So do you have a plan? Every battle needs one. And if you're an addict struggling, you're trying to get clean and sober, or you're in recovery period, especially early recovery, you need to have a battle plan. What is your plan for battle? The plan shows that you have hope and are eager for change. It won't be foolproof, but it is essential. An army's facing a critical battle at war, and somebody asks this general, what is your plan? Well, son, I thought I would have a late breakfast and then engage the enemy. But what is your plan? That is my plan, he says. The fact of the matter is that, of course, is no plan, but yet a plan for defeat. The battle is on at every step. A path veers off into danger and death. You are no expert at map reading. At least we are not yet. You are better able to discern the difference between the two paths, but the bad one can still sound so good. You know how it is in recovery? We sit and fantasize, we sit and romanticize. For some reason, all we can remember is the good old days and how fun it was and how good it felt. But we seem to forget those crappy moments, the shame and the guilt. It's like we got blinders on, and the only thing we can see is what we perceive to be the good side of addiction. So our plan to battle this has to set up walls and boundaries and set up support systems to keep us on track when our mind starts doing this imagination station, playing games in our mind to make us think that it was a good idea. And I'm coming up on 3 years clean. I took a little note for myself the other day. I had a thought, and I could see that this was my addictive thinking literally trying to talk me into it. And I caught it because of all the plans and all the stuff that I've been doing in my recovery. And I laughed at it because it was like an uncontrollable thing. But I had this thought about drinking, what it was like being drunk. And then I thought, man, it's been like 3 years since I've had that feeling of being drunk or high or anything like that. And myself said to myself, it was like, you probably wouldn't even like it anymore. You probably wouldn't even like that feeling anymore. And then the next thought was, you should maybe go give it a shot. See if you don't. I was like, what? Let me go try to drink to see if I don't like it now that I haven't been drunk for that long ago. And I was like, whoa, I'm going to write that down so I don't forget it. But my own thoughts, this battle that's going on in here, it was like, you probably won't even like being drunk anymore. You should probably go, just go try it and see if you don't like it. That's a great idea. I was like, what? Why did I even think that? And that's the stuff we can get lost in. Good morning, I'm LT, alcoholic addict in recovery. I live in recovery now. 2 years, or going on 3 years clean, sober from any mind-altering substances. This morning, on this morning live streams, we're going through a book called Crossroads right now. It's very Christian-based, and that's what it's going to be about. And the chapter we're on is chapter step 7, is what it says, but to have a plan. The battle is on at every step. A path veers into danger and death, and you are no expert at map reading, at least not yet. And that's our battle, is to find and stay on the good path when we get so enticed by the bad path and how incredible it may look. Lowe's, good morning. Eugene, good morning. Glad everybody's here today. How is everybody's Tuesday treating them? Everybody have a good Monday? Did we start this week off good in our spiritual conditions? Good, high, and keeping our hopes high and our people and love high, our goals, our plans? Or are we back into a negative mindset? I know it's been tough right now for a lot of us because it's summertime, the heat, the pollen, and it just wears a body down. I'm telling you, this stuff just wears a body down. So make sure you're getting enough rest, enough water, and enough sleep. When you simply give into your cravings, there's no battle. If all of a sudden a craving pops up, bam, you give in. There was no battle there. Your loyalties are clear. But now that we're in recovery, you are saying that your addiction is the enemy. Addiction and anything to do with that is now my enemy. And we're at war with this enemy. Your selfish desires, your idol, and Satan are all the enemies. Facebook user, good morning. Thank you for being here. The problem is that your old masters don't let go so easily. When we come to Christ, you don't suddenly enter into a demilitarized zone between yourself and the objects of your temptation. Instead, your temptations are in hot pursuit of you, and they fight dirty. They pretend they are life itself, but they are in fact death. You've probably heard it said in the rooms, if you go to AA and NA a lot, that while you're in here practicing recovery, talking it out with your sponsor, your addict, your selfish side, is out in the parking lot doing push-ups. Have you heard that before? Because that side of us is in hot pursuit of us. And yes, it does fight dirty. Let go and let God is not going to cut it. As a true human who has a spirit of God, you go off into battle against sin. Sin is what is at the heart of what we crave, the selfish, the desire to be autonomous, the desire to do what I want, when I want, how I want. I don't care what happens to anybody around me. Give me and give me now. All right? Are you kidding me? Nick Odell. Let me know if I have no audios, because everything on here says I does. How about now? How about now? Lowe's, Eugene, could you guys hear me? Or was I just talking for nothing? 8 years clean. Good job, Pam. Woo! 8 years. A lot happens in 8 years. A lot. That's a lot of life on life's terms. That's a lot of ups and downs. Maybe an experience of death or two. Maybe experience extreme success and happiness. Either way, on either end of that spectrum, is hard to stay clean and sober sometimes. If I get too excited, I'm like, where's the party at? If I get too depressed, I'm like, let's get high. Okay, cool. Thank you. I think it is you, Nick. But Nick, that is one thing I've been battling lately. I think I screwed up this microphone. I dropped it the other day. It was like fell off my stand, and it ain't been quite right since. And so you have a legit concern there. But Pam, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for letting me know. Thank you for the mic check, sound checks. So what we know about these battles, right? This battle of recovery, this battle of sin, this battle against our bad self, is that we will gain ground in small increments. 1 foot of enemy turf taken back, then another. 1 step in the right path, and then another. Small setbacks are common. Even large setbacks are common. But you've been promised victory, and you have the momentum on your side. Every small setback is an opportunity to go back into war, to go back to the war room. So every time you fail, you relapse, you burst out and act in a way that you don't want to act. You snap at somebody. You're mean to your wife. You're mean to your husband. You're mean to your friends. You're mean to your mom or dad or brothers or sisters, or, you know, the way that you act in traffic. You flip somebody off, cut them off on purpose, whatever, right? These habitual negative actions that we do. Maybe you look at porn, maybe, you know, and you slip up. So we go back to the war room. We regather our recovery mindset, and that war room is the cross. If you're a Christian, you give it all to the cross, because that's where ultimately this battle has already been won and defeated. Was on that day. The debt was paid. Jesus hanging on that cross is a symbol of debt, not just a symbol, it's literal debt being paid on your behalf. And so you mess up, you go back and reclaim that forgiveness. You throw away the old self and you go back into battle. That's what going into the war room is. And with the help of others, you shore up your strategy for battle. Go back to the war room. You get help from others. You plug the holes in your vessel that are leaky. You sharpen your tools, and you get back out and get to work. Martin Luther, old guy. So October 31st, way back in the 1800s or so, Martin Luther pinned a big old letter on the side of the Catholic Church, right on their door. It's called Reformation Day, and it went against the Catholics because of what the Catholics were doing back then. But that's who this Martin Luther is that we're referring to. It says Christian living does not mean to be good, but to become good. Not to be well, but to get well. Not being, but becoming. Not rest, but training. We are not yet, but we shall be. It has not yet happened, but it is the way. Not everything shines and sparkles as yet, but everything is getting better. Everything is getting better. 20 years clean. Woo! That's freaking awesome. Oops, I meant 9 years. Slip of the finger. That's okay. 9 years. That's even better. Oh my goodness. Military background. No, not ever active. I did serve as a civilian in the United States Air Force for 10 years, working on F-22s and F-35s. So I supported the war fighter, making sure they had the weapons and weapon systems necessary. That's about all I got, though. So you either have a plan, otherwise you wouldn't be considering these steps. So what is your plan? What is your plan? If you have time, if you're not multitasking, give me a little tiny 1-sentence snapshot of your plan. Like my plan, here's a little snapshot of my plan. I try to wake up the exact same time every single day, Monday through Friday, or the whole Saturday through Saturday, right? All the way, all 7 days. And I try to keep my body in a rhythm of sleep and of rest, a good cycle, your whatever that sleep cycle rhythm is. And then I try to eat clean. But first thing out of bed, I force myself to be grateful and just start saying thank you. Like, thank you for today. Thank you for another day of great new mercies. Thank you that I'm alive. And then I get a whole nother clean slate of a day to try. And then I dive into spiritual reading. Like this morning I pre-read this chapter. Most mornings I go through Bible verse apps because my recovery is contingent on my spiritual condition, and contingency is something that's what if, right? If this happens, I relapse. So basically, if I don't keep my spiritual condition in check and working on that, that's something that could possibly lead me back down the road to relapse. So that's part of my plan, is to take care of that first thing in the morning through prayer, meditation, whatever you want to call it, without getting on Facebook or Instagram or diving into TikTok or looking at YouTube videos first thing out of the gate, or the news or anything like that. I first get my head right with my plan to stay in recovery. And then I guzzle water. I drink some coffee and then I guzzle water. I try to stay hydrated. I try to keep if you give your body the fuel it needs throughout the day, it's going to respond better to these emotional attacks that we have. If your body is fighting against the food that you're feeding it, that's just another barbed wire fence you're climbing over and trying to keep yourself healthy and strong. And keeping your body healthy and strong with exercise and proper nutrition and rest is going to just only aid in this battle that we have with self. Nick says, day by day, but I drink to fight anxiety. How's that working out for you? Does it put it off for a couple hours? Maybe you got some PTSD. We got some people in our group that have PTSD. So I never really understood PTSD, like post-traumatic stress disorder, shell shock, Vietnam guys and Korean War, World War I and II. These guys coming back just jacked up before mental health was really considered, right? Didn't quite understand it. I got it. I was like, oh man, that's, that probably would mess you up. But then my son was in an accident. He was 9 years old at the time. UTV came, flipped, crushed his head, and I was on the scene. I was the first one there. Went over. He's laying on his back, choking on blood. He's got blood coming out of eyes, ears. His skull cracked from side to side. His eye was basically like just about to fall out. and I flip them over and I'm shaking them. There's just, all this blood, and I didn't know what to do. I was just screaming like the movies, like, stay with me, like that's what do you do? And my sister happened to show up on the scene because she just lived right up the road. She came down, called 911, all that. Ambulances, doctors, life flight, 2 months in a coma. And after that day, I understood PTSD, because running over to that machine, seeing it tipped on its side, seeing my son laying down, and the asphalt was probably 120 degrees, because when I was kneeling down holding him, I was wearing a pair of shorts, and it burnt my knees. My knees had burns on them. And I, at the moment, I didn't realize it was burning them until later that night when we were at the hospital. I'm like, whoa, man, my knees are burnt. Blood all over my arms, and him choking, the sounds, just all of that. Since that day, and that was 5 years ago now, I'll be driving down the road and I'll have a flash of that moment, and it just floors me. Like literally, like my foot kicks a little bit and I just have to shake it off, But after that little episode, a giant line in our life that we refer to now, before the accident, after the accident type stuff, when we talk about the history of what we do here. I drank for 2 years, like covering that up. I was pissed at God. I felt like it was my fault. I gave up on trying to maintain and drink just a little bit to, calm down and chill after work. Well, I was just fifths a night. Like, how drunk can I get? I would drink until I passed out. And if I woke up, I'd grab the bottle and drink some more. There was never enough whiskey in the house, ever. I got to the point where I was just buying the biggest bottle of the cheapest crap out there and drinking it until I was passed out. Drunk drive to the store, ruining my reputation, my relay, everything. It was bad. That's where drinking got me, dude. And I just, it doesn't work. 33, been drinking since 12 years old. Dad's a Vietnam vet. Brother's a vet, now me. Yep. I can relate, man. I can relate. So what we want to do is set up boundaries. There's a proverb that says, like a city's whose walls are broken down. Think about that. A city that might come under attack from enemies, right? Walls are broken down. Enemy can get in pretty darn easy, right? So like that city, like a city that has a wall that's tore down, is a man who lacks self-control. A man who lacks self-control is like an unfortified city. It's like a city that would be easily overtaken by an enemy without self-control. And that's what I've been practicing in my life, in my recovery, is self-control. Waking up, doing the daily things that I need to do, regardless of my mood, whether I'm super excited or super depressed and anxious. I just keep pressing through, checking them off the list, and they get better and easier every time. Exercise is a huge part of my recovery. And the Bible says, setting up these boundaries, talking about like pornography, right? If you frequent for pornography, set up with a friend who can monitor your computer usage. Don't ever use it in private. Put on barriers. There's a couple apps out there that you can set up as a security system and give your friend the password so that you can search the internet on this surface level, but as soon as you dip into that adult content, it'll ping, and it'll ping your friend. Your friend can be warned. It's just boundaries that you can set up how serious you are about fighting your addiction. The Bible says in Matthew, if your right eye causes you to sin, gouge it out and throw it away, before it is better for one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. And if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away, for it is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to go to hell. This takes it pretty seriously. When you sit and dine with a ruler, note well what is before you, and put a knife to your throat if you are given to gluttony. If you're sitting in front of this ruler, you've been invited to this place that we don't normally go. You got rich people everywhere. Not only that, the dude's a ruler of the city, right? You want to make a good impression on him. But yet you have a problem with food. Gluttony. That's what this verse is talking about. put a knife to your throat if you're given to gluttony, so that you don't make a fool of yourself in front of this person by eating everything on the table. And that's what I would do at a party, right? Hey, LT, come over, let's have some drinks. I'd start drinking, and I'd end up drinking everything in the house, everything in their house, run to the liquor store, get more, and just make a fool of myself. Glutton for addiction, for alcohol, right? I'm a functional alcoholic. I manage a pizza shop, so it's easy to drink. That's cool. If your life's not in shambles, if you are an average temperate drinker, not everybody is an alcoholic. Not everybody's life becomes a disaster from drinking. If your life's not unmanageable, you're not falling apart, you're happy, and you're okay with that. It's not ruining relationships and marriages. And I mean, there's people that drink. My brother and I got a bunch of friends that drink because they can. I cannot. I am of the type that cannot drink. It's just not something I can do. Abstinence is the best lifestyle for me because I ruin shit otherwise. But if you can, that's cool. But ask yourself, a couple questions. Am I healthy? Am I able to stop if I wanted to? Like, why do I really need to? Do I need to drink? Am I happy? Are you happy? Do you wake up? Do you drink so much that you end up blacking out? I don't know. These are all questions just for yourself. And it's your life. And if you're happy and you're not jacking it up, that's okay. That's totally fine. People drink. It's okay. Did you know like 90% of people in the whole world, like if we're looking, let's just talk about United States of America. 90% of the people who have done drugs and tried drugs or use it very occasionally do not completely wreck their lives. But there's that 10 to 20%, we could just call it 80-20 rule. The 20% of people who are like me, once they have that drink, become super duper thirsty until all the alcohol's gone or they pass out. The allergy, right? You've heard maybe, one's too many and 1,000 is never enough. There's people like that. So I hate drinking. It's a habit, okay? And you can't stop. Well, it sounds like you may have a problem. How's your relationships? I don't know if you're married, if you're not. If you got kids, you're not. 33 years old. Been drinking. Are you healthy? Go to the doctor, get your blood checked. Are you overweight? Can you function physically well throughout the day? Is it easy to go to the bathroom? How is your sleep habits? You got sleep apnea? All that kind of stuff, AA will help. Stick with those guys. Listen to those old timers. They know what they're talking about. Skinny, lucky guy. Skinny in a pizza shop. I'm skinny in a pizza shop. That's cool. Good for you. It's just a question. If you're not happy and alcohol is a hindrance to your happiness, it's time to quit. But it's your life. I can't make that decision for you. I can give you suggestions to why I don't quit, because my life was miserable drinking. Even when I was functional. Because when I was functional, I was a production controller, mid-management level, running 3 aircrafts. I had 3 F-35s. I was responsible for their intake and outtake, their production to modify, the latest, greatest weapon accessories and strength and all that kind of stuff, right? And I had a crew of about 25 people underneath me, and I was functional. Every night I drank a pint of whiskey, and it just gradually got worse. And after that accident, I gave up. I just drank. But even when I was a functional alcoholic, I wasn't happy. I wasn't healthy, and it was not a good lifestyle for me. But I couldn't quit. And so if you're not happy and you want change, what are you going to do to get it? Are you going to take all this information you're learning from AA, this live stream, and put it into action? Throw everything away from your house? If you have beer glasses, if you have alcohol, if you have a route to the store that makes it easy for you to pick up beer, I know it's at every gas station and supermarket, but what barriers are you going to put in your way to hinder you from going and picking up, buying more alcohol? What routines in your life are you going to change to stop drinking? How are you going to shift everything? Because it's not just I want to quit drinking. Okay, now I quit. I'm done. It's a lifestyle change. You got to change the lifestyle to change the habits. Just do something better 1% every single day to change those habits. You have to have self-control. Paul says, do you not know that in a race, all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way to get the prize. Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do not get a crown that will last, but we do get a crown that will last forever. Therefore, I do not run like a man who runs aimlessly. I do not fight like a man beating the air. No, I beat my body and make it my slave, so that after I have preached to others, I myself will not disqualify for the prize. So Paul's talking about this discipline, and he refers to Olympic athletes. If somebody wants to win a gold medal in marathon racing, do they just aimlessly jog around and learn, or do they go to battle with discipline in themselves to train to be able to be the fastest at a marathon? A boxer, do they just go, I'm going to be a boxer one day and sit around and not do anything about it until fight night, get in there, throw some gloves on and try to fight a guy who's been training? No, we train. And so during this battle we're in right now with addiction, we must train our bodies. We must train our minds. We're at war. You're welcome, Nick. No problem. I just got out of a divorce, 11 years. Ah, man, I'm sorry, man. That sucks. That's a lifestyle change all within itself, plus all the emotional crap that comes with it, man. Sorry you're going through all that. It sucks. That sucks. So, boundaries. Set boundaries up between you and your addiction. Delete things from your phone number. Set up a support system. If it's pornography, put up walls so that you can't get through. You know, you can always get through them, but it's going to make it a little bit more difficult for you to get through, so that you could maybe, you know, have that gleam of hope and reach out to a friend or something. If you know, what are these boundaries you got to set up? Clean out your house of all beer glasses, mugs, anything that has to do with alcohol or drug paraphernalia. Get rid of it. Find a different route to work. Find new friends. Find new habits. Set up these boundaries. So in our Discord, which is what we have. What is a Discord? You may be wondering if anybody's out there. Discord is just another app you can put on your phone, and it's a communication app. In our Discord, we have challenges. 30-day challenge. Right here. So this is the Recovering Addict Discord. Let me grab an invite link out of here real quick before we get into this. So I'm just going to hit copy. And I'm going to paste this Discord link in the chat. Join us if you're not in there. And what we do in this Discord is it's a 24-hour support room. If you're struggling, you can reach out here in the main chat and say, hey, is there anybody I can talk to? And a lot of people will pop in and say, hey, how can we help you? Up here is what I like to focus on, is our 30-day challenges. Right now we're in July. Everybody's still kind of just maintaining from May and June. And then in August, we're going to kick off another 30-day challenge that's going to have about 5 different things to help change your life and help you stay committed to it. And you'll do these 5 checklists every single day. Then you'll post them in your own little channel here underneath the 30-day challenge. And at the end, we're going to put everybody in for a drawing for a big Recovering Addict merch package with multiple shirts, hoodies, dog tags, you name it, a journal. We even got lighters with our name on it, hats, and wristbands and things like that. So Savage Freedom, she's been posting a lot in here. These are helping her a ton. She likes to post these little collages of what she's listening to, her exercise, her water intake, daily habits. She's been posting her own little videos. We went to a baseball game, and that was some sober fun with some friends. And so you can follow along with what she's been doing on a daily basis. Her cookie jar, and our cookie jar is what we've overcome in the past, and we can use it. Remember that we've overcame struggles in the past as we're facing a new struggle. And remember, hey, we are strong enough. Look what we've done. Gratitude lists, meditation, journaling, things that are going to help us in our recovery. Geesh, he's been doing it. He's doing awesome. He's got him a new book, Where the Deer and the Antelope Play. Oh, that's cool. Chilling in a hammock, getting some good rest time. He went on a bike ride. Looks like he went 11 miles. Jeez, dude, 11 miles. This dude puts in the work on his bike. You can see he goes on little bike rides. And that's part of his daily routine in recovery. So amazing. So if you'd like to be a part of these challenges, jump in our Discord, and then in this 30-day challenge, tag me. I'm the Recovering Addict. Just hit @RecoveringAddict. I'm in, and I will create you your own channel right here. Like Lowe's, she's doing awesome. Things she's grateful for. Things are getting better at work, getting better at home. End the virus, woohoo! Getting home more organized. Becoming disciplined. Relationships are improving. Beautiful. JV, he's always crushing it. He's out there running marathons. Like literally, he's training for a marathon. So if you'd like to be a part of that, jump in to our Discord. I'll create you a channel. August is going to be a fun one. We're going to have some good, because on Sunday nights, I go live on Sunday night at 8 o'clock. We're going through a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. Really good book. And we're going to implement some of the stuff we're learning in there into the next challenge. Pam, welcome. July 25th, 2013. I found my soulmate over 18 years plus less on couch and given him CPR. Whoa. Oh, pulse. His sunset was my sunrise. Wow. That's quite the story. Stephen Jones, you're doing a great job, LT. I usually pop in a program while getting ready to do my morning run. Gets my mind right in the right place. Woohoo! Thanks, bro. I love that. Like as soon as I'm done here, you know what I'm going to do if you've been watching this for a minute. I'm going to load up my bike. I'm going to load up my dogs, and I'm going to go to the mountain. And it's funny because no matter how I feel on my way there, my body talking me out of it, my joints are sore, I'm 43. I'm just like, I don't feel like it. And I just you just keep moving forward. And all of a sudden the pain goes away. The heart rate comes up. Getting full of beautiful oxygen, and then your head changes, and then all of a sudden you're in it. Like you're pushing yourself harder than you imagined yourself, 20 minutes before, sitting on the couch like, I don't feel like it. Then all of a sudden you feel good in that moment. I always got to try to remember now, like in that moment, in 20 minutes from now, my whole outlook and the whole way I feel on what I'm about to do is going to change, and it's actually going to feel good. Your body releases natural pain relievers. Your head change. I love it when I get into a good book, good audiobook, and I just kind of keep trucking, and I just become like this floating head. I'm just like, I just kind of like disappear, and I'm just on. It feels so good. And then when I'm done, I still have yet to regret it. I always, 99% of the time, have some type of refusal inside my body of why not to go. It's cold. It's windy. Windy's been getting me a lot lately. Like I look out and it gets windy. I'm like, would use it as an excuse if I could, But I just press through. And even though every time there's some negative aspect of getting there because my body's trying to talk me out of it, I have never regretted doing it. I'm always like, man, I'm really glad I did that. I feel way better now. And the world turns, huh? So if you're new here, please give us a follow, give us some hearts, share us out. The best way to support us is to share our videos. If you come across our content on this Facebook page, just give it a little minute of your love. Watch it all the way through if it's a reel, and share it out if you'd like. And give it a little heart and a like and a comment. That interaction helps send us out a little further. Y'all have a great and blessed day. A friend just called and I need to return her call. Pam, good night, or good night, good morning, and have a great, wonderful day. All right, y'all, that's it for me too. Until I see you Thursday morning, do not put yourself in a high-risk situation. Stay strong, work your program, and remember, we recover better together.